11. Friends don't lie. Stop it! You're freaking her out! She's freaking me out! The Upside Down.
Do you understand what he's talking about?
No.
I found the chocolate bunny!
Oh God, please tell me it's not the kid.
I need you to hide!
Warnings are for coffee and contemplation.
Holy shit.
And we're back. My name is Chris.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, the very best, most thorough and wonderful and sexiest, I would say, strangely.
Hi with that.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'm feeling it every time, guys.
I'm feeling it. We recap Stranger Things, the popular Netflix property, dive deep into each and every episode, awaiting with bated breath Season 2, which will debut shortly.
It's right around the corner.
Right around the corner. This is Chapter 8, The Upside Down, which Netflix describes thusly. Dr. Brenner holds Hopper and Joyce for questioning while the boys wait with Eleven in the gym. Back at Will's, Nancy and Jonathan prepare for battle.
Prepare for battle. Do not fire till you see the whites of the Demogorgon's eyes. Oh, it doesn't have none? Fuck. Just shoot them.
Fuck. Hold. How great would it have been if Mel Gibson was in the background? Hold. Wait, who the fuck is that guy? Oh, that's Steve. Hold on. Steve, hold.
I would love that.
Can you edit that one?
Yeah, we'll make that video. That'll be the video this week.
That might take some time. Any hoozle. Like we said, those are our names. That's our show. If you haven't listened to us before, you're in for a treat, but you should probably go back and listen to the first 7 episodes. So this is the finale of our show, their show, the show, all shows.
The show
I
of
think,
shows.
and today. That's what we're going to say. So if you've never listened before, do that. Please take a moment to subscribe. First of all, what are you doing with your life? Rate and review the show. And send any feedback to streamingthingspod@gmail.com. And in fact, we've got a little treat since it's the finale. What do you think, Andrew? Treat them? Should we treat them?
Let's do it.
We're going to do it. Steve, we're shocking you here. We didn't talk about this.
Ooh, I'm learning about this just like you are, listener. Let's find out.
We've got a little contest going on. We've tried a couple times to put this out into the world before, but word just did not spread as we had hoped. So we're going to give you guys one last chance, and gals and non-binary folk and Demogorgons even too. So if you subscribe, rate, and review our podcast, take a screenshot of your rating and review and send it to streamingthingspod@gmail.com, you will be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card.
$100 gift card?
That's right. Or whatever currency in your country is viable. That's fine as well.
Think of all the Eggos you could buy.
Be like 78.2 euros gift card.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that transfers, but I can, I'm sure they got Amazon. So, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do.
Can I enter to win?
No, Steve.
No.
That would be unethical.
Be nepotism.
Of Trumpian proportions. So that's what we're going to do. $100. Do you know how many things you can buy with that? I believe you could probably get the special edition season 1 of Stranger Things that comes in a VHS-esque package, which is great.
That's super cool.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Almost bought it at Target the other day.
Really?
I could get 4 of those with a $25 Amazon gift card. Just going to let you guys know Christmas is coming up around the corner. This can help a lot. That's all you got to do. So rate and review the show, screenshot it, send it to streamingthingspod@gmail.com. That's all you got to do. And you have until, let's say November 1st. How about that?
November 1st?
November 1st.
Yeah.
Dig it.
And this will be released on probably the 25th of October, I would imagine. Yeah. So it gives you about 6 days.
It's a lot of pressure.
7 days. That's perfect. Moving along then. Okay. So the this episode, the finale, opens with Dr. Brenner versus Joyce. And right off the bat, I was intrigued that Dr. Brenner's charms finally don't work. Joyce is immune. He pulls the same shit he always pulls. He does that sentimental good cop, but really the most evil cop vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do my job unless you let me help you.
Help me help you, Joyce. That's your name, right?
Yes.
Terrible Joyce impersonation.
Yes.
I thought it was great that Joyce was able to pick holes in his little argument of his plea for her help, because she was like, you tried to hide my boy. You made a stuffed will. You made a fake will, and we buried that fake will, and now you want me to help you? That was great.
Yeah.
Joyce is on fire.
Filled him with cotton. You couldn't even spring for some like plastic organs. I mean, come on, you go to hell.
That's what she was most upset about, I feel like. Matthew Modine was on fire there. That was just the sinister, simmering. He was a little bit better in the scene where he confronts Karen when he makes her cry, Mike's mom. But it was like he was trying to Modine it, you know? He was trying to Brenner it, and Joyce was just not having his shit, and that was fun to see.
He mentions that the Demogorgon has killed 6 people,
Yeah.
or taken 6 people.
He did.
Who are the 6? We know there's Will, Barb, the 2 hunter guys, the scientist that gets the shaft in the elevator. Who's the 6? I was trying to think of who the 6th
I could
person
not
would be.
either.
Maybe he counts the deer.
6 creatures have been taken by this thing, including Bambi.
I'm a big fan of deer. I love deer.
Baby Holly.
Oh,
You leave Baby Holly alone.
You're an animal for even joking about it, Andrew. So we don't know if you know the 6th person that the Demogorgon took. Write in to streamingthingspod@gmail.com. No, I was sitting there trying to think of the 6th person myself.
Oh, the guy that they sent in, Shepard.
Oh, that's right.
Shepard. Never mind. Don't email. We figured it out. Damn. Okay. Better question. How does, I guess it's just one of those things we're supposed to assume that Brenner and his ilk have been able to ascertain knowledge-wise. Because I don't know how he knows about, well, they did know about Barb. They hit her car.
Yeah.
What about the hunter guys? We just didn't see on screen that they learned about that, I guess.
Yeah, that was something we just learned expositionally through Hopper, right?
Yeah.
Like these 2 guys just went missing, so it's kind of assumed that it was the Demogorgon that got them.
No, for sure.
They
But
just
I
show
didn't know
up
that.
super hungover at the finale.
I
Like,
didn't know how Brenner
we
knew.
miss anything, guys?
They find that Byers kid?
Totally unrelated. So then we cut to sociopathic social worker, the assassin, and a flunky guy, like X-Files type guy I've never seen before.
He's been in the
Has he?
background a couple seasons or episodes.
just
yeah.
chilling.
Yeah.
And then another flunky with like a cattle prod, torturing Hopper.
Wasn't that the head of security that
Yes.
Hopper talks to in the beginning, where he's like, I don't know what happens here. I just get my check signed by the big man upstairs. I don't know about the kid.
I don't think that was him.
It was the guy that like had the fake footage and stuff. Like, did you see any rain in that footage? It was that guy. Forget about all the cameras. Got punched earlier on. He should have had a broken ass nose, because this is like 2 days later.
I thought that was the older guy that's in the passenger seat of the car that opens the door for Hopper at the end. Like, that's the walkthrough guy.
thought that was the same guy.
No, there's a younger guy that was with the social work assassin.
Yeah. There's a younger guy, yeah.
Yes, that's who I'm talking about. That's not the walkthrough guy.
No, that's not.
Okay.
We're talking about balder,
Yes.
balder gentleman.
Older,
yeah.
balder gentleman. We should have looked up some obscure character
Older,
names.
balder
We could have done
gentleman.
this. We could have done this homework. But here at Streaming Things, we've got a different style. By the way, just so you guys know, we just watched the finale for the first time since last year, except Andrew, because he's an asshole, like 10 minutes ago. So we are flying high on this episode. So if we're a little scatterbrained, we're just feeling it. We've been strangered. Wait.
What? What?
What did he do to you, Chris?
We are feeling it.
I did not sign up for this.
So they're torturing Hopper. He's getting a way different treatment than Joyce. You know, he's trying to psychologically nice fuck with her. And tortures, we come right back to Hopper, and it's like, puking and shit. It's like, whoa, somebody let Brenner talk to him, please. That's not fair.
They're bad cop and the cop.
The social work assassin is off the chain. And he's just like, what do you know? And he's just like, can't stop being a Hopper smartass, just even with the cattle prod. Everything. What do you know specifically?
Did I stutter?
Yeah, I stutter, bitch. Everything. Everything. He like hangs lights up and just EVER. Why? Anyway, maybe not.
They're probably still upset that he beat the shit out of a couple of their
There should have
boys.
been like a somebody wearing a nose splint or something in the background, just like shotgun. You're like, "Grr."
I was reading that Stephen King novel, and this motherfucker comes up and jacks me in the face.
Never got to finish it.
I was just on more duty.
Duty. Okay, so then we cut back to the gang, 11 and the boys, and they're just waiting with bated breath back in the empty gymnasium. And they find out that Mike's so entranced with 11 at a certain point, he's like, wait, where's my sister? There was, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're missing the older kids for sure. Anybody know? And 11's just psyching it up like, yeah, God, bye-bye. Demogorgon. Really
How
weird.
she knows that, I don't know. 'cause
Well,
I
we can
thought she
just
was-
assume.
She's great at parties.
Yeah, she feels it out, man.
I love that she was draped in, like the towel that they had her wrapped in was an American flag towel. So she's literally draped in the American flag.
More government symbolism, maybe.
I suppose,
The
yeah.
oppressive government is almost on her, but literally on her as well. Yeah, we that brings to mind the fact that we don't know still the full extent of 11's powers, because I think she has a couple shocking displays, even from what we've seen so far by the end of this episode. But she could also, I mean, can she eavesdrop on conversations in the hall? I guess she easily could. If she can do it with Russia with a tank, then she could do it outside the room easily. So maybe she just heard Nancy and them talking, you know? Maybe she can't quite turn it off. Who knows what it's like to be 11?
I like to think that the boys were out doing something and Nancy just peeked her head and like, hey, 11, we're going to head out. Just tell the boys we're going to be gone.
We're going to go fight the Demogorgon?
You'll be fine, right?
Yeah. Here's a towel.
What is fine?
Friends don't lie.
Okay, that's true, but not really applicable to what we're talking about.
Promise? So then we cut to the montage of Nancy and Jonathan, Jaybird, as Steve refers to him very fondly, setting traps in what I like to call Home Alone 4 Demogorgon.
Why hasn't that been greenlit yet? They strung up paint cans on string.
I know. I could just picture Macaulay Culkin as the third guy helping, setting up a paint can and spreading tacks, and they're like,
quick cutaway to him, like, putting his hands on his cheek.
like, what are you doing? You know, you guys are home alone, and I'll show myself out. So, but it's like adult Macaulay. He's all cracked out. Damn.
Nobody wants adult Macaulay Culkin.
Steve said, ugh, damn. Okay, anyway. So the trap montage, I was just very pleased by this scene. I thought a lot of it was awesome and somewhat comical, but the editing was just superb. The only part I chuckled at was Nancy's tiny frame bracing herself against the wall with one foot on the bear trap while Jonathan's trying really hard to set the other side. And they're barely strong enough with the two of them just to set the trap. And I just thought it was some funny teamwork there where it's all badassery until then. He's like nailing nails into the bat and setting these little traps and pouring gasoline and loading the pistol and then bear trap. All right, fuck it. This is good enough. Maybe it's a tiny bear.
We'll be all right with just the bat and the gun.
Yeah.
They look badass, though.
She's like, there was 2 bear traps? He's like, no, we're good. This is good. We got too much. You cut back to Brenner, thank God, finally came in to talk to Hop. And I picture him coming in like, okay, Hop, so let's think. Whoa.
He's dead.
Oh, geez, Marcy. He's puking.
This isn't how we do things at Hawkins Lab.
Okay, get up there, buddy. Okay, here, your hairline looks good, by the way. You want a cigarette? Because Hop's now, he's smoking a cigarette now. So he's like a good cop, and it comes on in. Hey, I got a pack of smokes here. Wow, that electricity really hurts. I know it does. I felt that before. I changed my socket once. And well, it's a long story, but just sit up there, buddy.
Can I call you Hop?
Here, I found, what's this in my pocket? Oh, Xanax, how'd that get here? Oh, gee, these like Tic Tacs I hear, huh? don't know why he's from Minnesota now. Oh, geez, look at you. You're just laying there all shocked up. Yeah, you know everything, huh? Anyway, so Hop decides Hop decides he can negotiate now. And he's got this plan all along. It's almost as if, at least this is the way he played the character, I felt like he knew he was going to be captured. And this was his plan. I'm going to get beat up for a little while. I'm going to be a smart ass. And then I'm going to deliver. Yeah, that seems smart because he knew he couldn't break all the way to the gate with fucking Joyce with him, you know, just chain smoking. All right, run now. Just running through the hallways.
Where's Will Hop?
Shh. Will! No, shh. We still got to... God damn it. All right. Arms up. Arms up.
I think there's a crazy woman outside yelling. Someone should look into that. They really
do you
should.
smell smoke? Because this is a lockdown facility. So, yeah, he makes some kind of deal with Dr. Brenner, and we can assume, I think, safely right off the bat, that he decided to give up the location of 11 as long as they didn't hurt the children.
Lando.
That he landoed them, and something else. I think there's more to this deal. He agrees not to talk about the Hawkins laboratory as well. But I got the
Joyce
impression...
has to agree that they're not responsible at all.
Right.
That Will went missing.
We can talk about it later, but I just feel like, because it's more appropriate later, that there's a part of the deal we were not privy to.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, we all agree. We're nodding. You can't see it. There's nods of agreement transpiring amongst the group.
It's just crazy to me that like they're like, okay, yeah, let's just give them the gear, let them go down, do their thing. We're just gonna fuck off over the school for a little bit, about an hour. We'll be back.
Yeah,
we'll pick you guys up.
And the social work assassin, I'm just gonna keep calling her Marcy because I feel like that is apropos. So
I don't get it.
That's just her name. I decided I named her.
Oh.
That's not her name. That's her name. So Marcy, she's super pissed about just letting them go.
You gotta call her social work assassin. I'm not gonna pick up. You're gonna like. We're gonna be in season 2, and you're gonna reference Marcy. I'm gonna be like,
Who?
Who?
You mean Nancy?
Nancy?
Okay, so the social work assassin.
That's t-shirt material right
SSA.
there, man.
Yeah. She's upset that Dr. Brenner's decided to let them go, and he's just uber confident that they're not going to survive the next 5
They'll
minutes.
work it out.
Yeah. So what happens if they find the boy? That's not going to happen. Shepard was my best. And he was attached to the dick winch of safety. Still didn't make it out. And Hops, I gave him a lot of Xanax, okay? I doubt he made it to the gate.
He promised me he would help me move next time I change apartments, and that's a bond. I'm coming out ahead on this deal. Marcy.
Marcy. So the deal commences, and the look on Hop's face, I can just imagine the direction. The director's like, I want you to look slightly center and left of the lens, just like I ate your last fucking Xanax. That's what I want on your face. You just can't, because he's got this steely-eyed jaw set, and Joyce is like, what's going on? She's like, he's the Rick and she's the Morty. I just realized.
That's true.
Oh, what's going on, Hop? Oh, jeez.
Hop.
What do you mean? We were all just out smoking. Now we're walking. You
Just
know?
11s killing 11s.
So, and he's like, we made a deal. You're not going to say shit. And we're going to go get your son. And that's it. But he doesn't look at her. He's just got his jaw set with this determined walk that just really struck me.
He's ready to go.
So then they're inside. They got their hazmat suits on, and you know she's like, "What are these for?" And you know the Hawkins laboratory employees are like, "The air is toxic. You got to wear those." And she very validly, "My son's in there for like a week, so
He's fine."
And Hop's just like, "Let's wear the suits because if we don't find him, we don't want the cancer."
Let's save that plot point for season 2.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
Yeah, there you go. Fair. So we back to the diegetic flashbacks, which I was in love with. I mean, this show's use of flashback is amazing. Mm-hmm. She, as soon as she enters, I couldn't tell if she's not used to the suit, because if you've ever breathed like artificial air, I don't know if you folks have, but it's difficult. It's not like breathing. You have to like breathe really hard, and you have to get used to it. Or if she's just overwhelmed by being in another dimension and the knowledge that her son has been here, and she has a little panic attack, which probably more the latter.
She might be freaking out that the air's toxic and her son's been in there. Like, oh fuck, what?
She's also a heavy smoker, though, and I just feel like practically she couldn't hang with the compressor. You know, you gotta have strong lungs. But so he's helping her breathe. He's like, breathe in, breathe out, which calls him back to helping his young daughter, who was the first time we've seen her. This is Sarah, right? Mm-hmm. His young daughter, Sarah, and how she came down with whatever terminal illness that she came down with, and he had to sit her down in the park and try to help her breathe. And I was just so... I mean, this is easy. This is heartstring yanking here, but I mean, I have a 4-year-old son, and just imagine playing in the park with him and then him having some kind of inability to breathe all of a sudden. And I just think the acting was superb. David Harbour, the way, just the fear on his face, the confusion, just trying to step in and help his child. It was very well done. Just trying to help Joyce breathe. I love the way they use flashbacks. So
Hop looks a lot different without the beard.
Yeah.
he does. And not even a beard. It's just like a lack of shaving, you know, was really essentially what a beard is. But you know what I mean? Like there's like, you can just tell when a beard was intentional.
When you get it down to brass tacks.
Yes. It's like a week and a half shadow.
You can tell when a beard's intentional and just from lack of an ability to care about the face.
Yeah.
And his is the latter. Cut back to the gang. They've decided that Nancy being gone is okay now, or, you know, they're arguing about what they should do. And Lucas is, again, the very practical one, as always. And then Dustin right behind him with the practicality. And I think it's Dustin that's talking about Nancy. He's like, she's kind of a badass now. And I just nodded like, yeah, she's pretty much badass now. And that was an arc for her character where she was sort of a damsel, sort of very naive, to all of a sudden she's just like, let's go, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
She's like,
#justice.
Downey. Yeah, she is the justice for Barb.
Oh.
Call back to my genius.
I'm here to do two things: find Barb and kick some ass, and I'm all out of Barb.
Oh, nice. Nicely done, Steve.
Because she died.
Yeah, no, I got it. So then, cut back to Jonathan and Nancy. They're eagerly awaiting. They've already cut their hands in some sort of blood ritual.
No.
They're blood brothers and sisters, waiting for the Demogorgon to show up. Sorry, and I'm really confused about how these rules work, because I thought that the lights blinking upon the Demogorgon's arrival was Will's warning, even upon a rewatch. And apparently, they just flash when there's any kind of interaction with the Upside Down or any. When there's a sentient being on both sides of the plane of the same location, there's some electrical interference.
Maybe. I know that the lights in Will's shed were flashing when Will first gets abducted at the beginning of episode 1.
Good call.
So
Wow, that's
there's
smart.
There is like some
Continuity.
to it. It's just a question of who's doing the flashing, you know? The Demogorgon shows up and the little alphabet thing's like, fuck you, just popping up.
Yeah, I just was confused. And how Jonathan picked up on something that I didn't, and I had lots more information, except now he had the script, so I guess. But he's just like, how stupid was that way of putting, I mean, it was way too poetical for my taste.
Yeah.
When he comes, the lights speak. And she's like,
Speak.
excuse me?
Well, it is established that Jonathan could be a little pretentious.
That's true. I love how he just like got deflated. She's like, what?
They
they blink.
They blink. Damn it.
I wish she had pressed the issue. So they don't talk. They fucking blink.
You were just being pretentious.
Where's Steve?
This is why no one likes you, Jonathan.
This is the shit I'm talking about right here. So that Steve does show up, thank God. Right? Am I right?
I mean, thankfully for Nancy, yeah.
For everyone.
True.
Because if the Demogorgon had quickly dispatched them, we'll get there.
I just have to say, I love Steve coming back.
I do too.
I love this moment for him because the whole season you're kind of like, he's charming, but he's an asshole.
And we all know
And
the
we
80s
know
villain
it.
that he's going to be.
And then he comes back, and the way he comes back and how he wants to help Nancy, and even at that point where he's like, did he hurt you? Did he cut your hand?
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, okay, there he is good. He's a nice young man.
Steve's such a good guy.
But then This is the only problem I have with the scene.
Okay.
It's the one scene. So he comes in and Steve's rightfully freaking out like, oh my God, there's a bear trap and Jonathan's got a bat with nails in it.
It's not even
and
Christmas
you got
yet.
a fucking gun? What's going on? And Nancy pulls the gun on him and she's like, you have until 3 to leave. 1. And there's like this moment where I'm kind of like, is she really going to shoot him? She's like,
know.
1, 2. And Jonathan has to come in like, Nancy, stop.
She does the full countdown and is only interrupted by the arrival of the Demogorgon.
Yeah.
So who knows? Was Nancy gonna shoot Steve? And if she did, who shot first?
Greedo.
What do you think, Andy?
I just feel like the Demogorgon is going to show up and see Steve's face because he's still beat to shit. And he's gonna be like, "Oh God,
Jeez.
you just go wait outside. I'm going to deal with these guys."
I think the Demogorgon showed up not from the hand cuts, but from Steve's
Yeah,
face.
probably.
He's just like, I smell that.
The addition of Steve's face made him like, oh, well, I can't pass out this buffet.
Now I picture the Demogorgon like Chris Tucker. I just can't avoid it thanks to Andy, and just shows up out of the ceiling. You got knocked the fuck out.
Come on, Dallas. Come on, Dallas, my man.
Demogorgon's so hood. That makes sense. What's up? Y'all bleeding the shit in here.
God
Let's
damn
eat.
it. Now the vision of the Demogorgon as Chris Tucker is never going to leave my
Can
brain.
you edit that video? It's easier than the Mel Gibson one. Anyway.
I don't know. There's a lot of material I could pull from with Chris Tucker.
So Steve shows up. Nancy tries her best to really save his life by forcing him to get out. Not right now, motherfucker. This shit is crazy up in here. You need to go. And he's like, did it hurt you? Seriously? That's not cool. All right, Jonathan. I knew you were crazy, dude. I'm trying to talk. And I wonder what he wanted to say because he had thought Jonathan was there alone.
Yeah.
Big shock when Nancy opened the door. But he took it well. What did he want to say to Jonathan? Like, I guess some sort of apology?
I think so. It seemed like he was there to make amends.
No, for sure, but
I'm so going to get you this Christmas present, dude. You're going to love it.
He's like drunk. Jaybird. Nickety knock.
Please don't call me Jaybird. My dad calls me Jaybird.
You got to look like him.
So Steve, he does flee, and that's what finally gets him to do it. It's blinking. Demogorgon shows up, and he's just like, what the fuck? And she fires the gun at the Demogorgon. Bullets do nothing, by the way. That's disappointing. So they run down the hallway. Their little plan that's set up is pretty genius, but it's the Demogorgon outsmarts them.
Doesn't fall for
He
it.
teleports out as soon as he gets to the bear trap. I don't know why he didn't just step over it. That's fine. Whatever. He didn't smell it. He just, I don't know. He smells something's amiss. So
He probably took it as an insult. Like, ugh, bear trap.
I guess he couldn't see it in my theory, though. All he does, he smells the blood. So let's say he has like a daredevil sense, but instead of hearing, it's with blood. So he
And
can
he's
like
super
sort
Catholic.
of vaguely, yeah, right, for sure. He can vaguely see them in the room with the blood smell. And he's like, they're up to something. I'm out. You couldn't see it, but I was doing my Demogorgon impersonation that apparently
He's
was
just sort of
amusing.
blinking around.
He had his nose like upturned like he smelled something bad, but was also blinking a lot.
Which he doesn't do. That was where his other jaws.
Oh, your eyelids were his other jaws.
So we cut back to Hopper and Joyce and more flashbacks. This time, his daughter deeper into her illness, and he's like reading her a bedtime story about how wonderful life is, which I felt like, I mean, I guess that's appropriate, but also sort of he's just begging to cry in the stairwell after a story like that. Because life's hard, honey, but at least you're alive. And in the end, but she's not gonna be soon. Like, why would you read that? Like, fucking the caterpillar that eats everything or something, you know? What about that book? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Hungry
Yeah,
Caterpillar.
the red faced caterpillar. Yeah.
That one. Or Goodnight Moon. Even that's a little sad. But anyway, it's like, again, pulling at our heartstrings. Cut
Charlotte's
back.
Web. Oh no. No.
Bambi.
No.
Cut back to Steve trying like hell to hang, right? He jumps over the bear trap, thank God. I mean, I would have been dead. If I were Steve, if I were Steve, I'd have been in the bear trap getting munched on by the Demogorgon. Well, what's going on? She was trying to shoot me. She looks really hot right now. I guess we're running. Ow! 'Cause Jonathan just yells over his shoulder, bear trap, you know, or jump or something. And Steve's like, I'm the athletic type.
I love his jump too because like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He does this weird, like really weird jump. It's great.
You can tell he's quickly adapting to an insane situation. I really appreciated that. So
Poor
then
Steve.
she's like trying to get him to leave again, and he's still not doing it. So what convinces him comically and realistically is that thing's coming back. You better go. And he's like, "You're right. I should go if it's coming back." That's a fair point. Books it out to his car, his BMW, the old BMW, which he calls Lucy. And that's not true. I made that up.
I was going to say, I forget that part.
I'm just really trying to add as much to the story as I can. I feel like it's a little bit sparse. But so he's like dropping the keys and shit, and he gets in, and then he looks back, sees the lights blinking, and he's like, "Oh, it's back." And we cut thinking Steve's out of there. I forgot to mention,
stay or should I go now?
the Clash starts playing in Steve's car on the radio. Cut back to him and Will hanging out. It's weird. It's like, why do they know each other? No. I did want to mention the sound design. We had noticed it a lot before, but they really play up the electricity factor involved in the Demogorgon's comings and goings, because we had the subtitles on. So I'm not sure that I would have noticed it. But when the Demogorgon leaves while they're hiding in the bedroom, the first time, it says like jolt of electricity or something like that. So when he flees this plane of existence, there's like...
Doesn't it kind of sound like like an old TV turning off?
No, it sounds like...
Oh.
That's exactly... That's literally an edit point.
Can you do that? Can you do that like 3 or 4 more times for me?
Don't you think so, Andy?
Oh, I think it hurt itself out there. That's what that noise was.
The trap. So as soon as the Demogorgon Part 2, the return is like the 80s horror movie sequel, it comes back. I love how it outsmarts them. They're back to back. She's got the pistol. He's got the bat. And Jonathan's like, "Come on, motherfucker. You want some of this shit? Take my brother. Make my mom smoke even more cigarettes. I don't know why Donald keeps giving them to her. She knows she's going to die. Anywho, I need to focus." And then the lights go out. And he's like, "Oh, shit. I didn't consider this." And somehow, even though they're back to back, they end up with the Demogorgon just rising behind them. And already they're done. Bat goes flying. Bullets don't work. Steve to the rescue. Nobody predicted that shit first time through. Nobody. If you were like episode 5, like Steve's going to save the day, that's going to be cool. No, you'd have been a fool. Of course, you could have just kept watching because it's Netflix, but still. One of my favorite moments of all time when Steve picks the bat up and he's immediately like fucking Brad Pitt Achilles from Troy.
Oh, I know. He's like spinning the bat and shit.
Fuck you. Take it out. I hate my dad. Tommy H. Carol. Just loved every bit of that because Steve is the athletic type. And it makes sense to me that I'm more of a Jonathan. I hate to admit. I wish I could say that I would have been the rescuer. But I think I would have probably been outsmarted immediately and knocked to the ground. Like, and lost the bat. I'm pretty sure that'd have been me. I would have had this dope ass plan though, right? That's what we got to give him some credit there. But
I would have come up with a dope plan with the bear trap and everything and still fallen into the bear trap. That would have been me. I would have been like, all right, there's the bear trap. Oh, I got him in it.
My plan wouldn't have involved me. Okay, Nancy. Bear trap set up. Everything's good. Call me out. Let me know how it goes. Ted's on his way.
So, he'll be like probably 5 minutes late. So
you got it. You got it. It's good. Don't forget the yo-yo.
He knocks that Demogorgon right out of the park with that baseball bat.
What was the point of the yo-yo in the trap?
That was to let them know that he had stepped into the bear trap, I think.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, so in case they couldn't hear... like the yo-yo was supposed to warn them.
Well, at least that way, like, maybe they don't know how smart it is. Maybe he could, like, poke it and then go, "Ow, it totally got me. Come check on my hurt." I got eat you. Eat you now.
I guess I just felt like the yo-yo was a bit overcomplicated because it's like super thin drywall. We know how thick the walls are because Joyce has busted through them, and Lonnie's been fixing the place up, so we know that it's not very soundproof. I don't know. I just felt like the yo-yo was a bit much, but it was good. I'm glad it was in there.
I love that scene though. The monster fighting scene. It's such a cool scene in this whole series.
Epic finale. Good way to go. Set the fucker on fire. Hardcore. I'm glad that he thought to, like, you could tell they planned to survive this attack because he had a fire extinguisher nearby. Yeah. He's like, we got it. Shit, burned down my house. Okay. I'm ready for this. Which I immediately, when everybody thinks of, when the gasoline goes up, like, well, it's awkward.
Let's leave while the house blows up, but no one look back at the explosion.
I'm really proud of them for not going for explosion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'd have been too 80s. Yeah. Like, I rigged up a septic system, filled it with gasoline.
Puts on sunglasses.
Demogorgon knocks the lighter out of my hand and I crawl epically towards it.
Jonathan has like barefoot and he's walking through glass. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
That was a Die Hard reference starring Bruce Willis.
Easter egg.
So, cut back to Mike Mackin on 11. He does. You can tell he's trying to set her up for some future life and then instantly regrets his analogy. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I mean, my mom will be your mom. Nancy's like going to be your sister. And will you be my brother? No. No, that's not it at all. Because, like, why? Because, like, can't bang your sister. It doesn't matter.
We'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I was figuring you'd snowball me.
Yeah, and then he goes in for that kiss. He goes hard.
I know.
He goes hard for that.
It was borderline non-consensual.
I don't know if it might have been non-consensual.
I mean, she doesn't look displeased. But I don't feel like she knows how to feel. That's right. She is like mentally ill, basically, with her lack of knowledge of the world. Whoa, bro.
His neck just snaps.
I know, that could have went really bad.
Yeah. Like she doesn't understand these social tics because she hasn't been around normal people her whole life. So imagine not have any sort of conception of what a kiss is or what that means. And then just having someone's mouth just violently thrust towards you.
Yeah. She doesn't even know. Yeah. And he goes straight from like, I promise I'll feed you real food soon. You'll have family for... No. And she's like...
That's a pimp.
What?
That's a pimp. Mike's a pimp. I'll feed you.
Oh, yeah. Like a negative. Not like what it became in our culture. Like he's a pimp, but like he's a pimp. Like he abuses women. Right.
I know this is purely like overblowing the situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, he's 13 as well. And like I said, I think she was into it. But how much could she really know about it?
I did read online that was Millie Bobby Brown's first kiss. And so, like,
what?
They filmed that scene, like, and they did the kiss, and she pulled back and went, "Cut! That was kissing? That sucked."
Really? Is there footage of that?
I don't know. I just read it online.
Poor
Finn.
Poor actor who plays Mike.
Finn Wolfhard.
Poor Finn Wolfhard. Holy shit. Can you imagine if that's like your job and you do that and then like, oh, that sucked. That's what kissing is?
You're
gross.
Nervous. Finn Wolf Limp after that for a good while. Pretty good. That's a good.
Pretty good.
So then he's trying to explain, basically what a boyfriend is. I love that he went for the snowball though. Like he invited her to the dance. It was so childish.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Like we're gonna culminate everything we've been through and all of our love and all of your struggles and be seen in front of everyone together at the whole school.
Yeah.
Where you made people pee last time we were. It doesn't matter.
That's pretty cool. You're going to be awesome.
So then a car pulls up, ruining their moment, and they think Nancy and Jonathan have returned. Or perhaps the people that were probably dead. Will's mother. And nay, it is a bunch of the employees of Hawkins Laboratory. And Dustin, true to form, goes... Lando.
Yeah.
When Mike's like, how'd they find us? And he's like, Lando, motherfucker. I told you this Lando was going down. I've been telling you. Now what are we going to do with all this chocolate pudding? Oh, how can we forget to talk about chocolate pudding?
You had so much of it.
Finally happened.
I know.
Yes.
We've been looking forward to this all season.
I love that they come out with like 2 giant trays of it, like 40 something cans of chocolate pudding. Like, this will charge her right up. Like,
I love Dustin's reaction to it too. He's like, that lunch lady, she's been holding out. She keeps saying we're out of pudding. Oh, nope, clearly not, you bald-faced liar.
lunch lady Phyllis.
He fed back into this this whole mythos behind the chocolate pudding. Like, he's had this resentment for years. Like, she's always saying she's out, and I knew she was holding back on us, but fucking lying bitch.
We cracked the case.
I love it. This childlike wonder.
I could see someone like the kids are saying, we cracked the case, and they're like, oh, did you figure out like where Will went? No, we figured out the conspiracy of the chocolate pudding and how there's never enough, but there really is a lot of
He
it.
should have, like, when Dr. Brenner shows up, he's like, seriously though, there's so much chocolate pudding over here, and she's always saying, like, I know you guys got a lot going on right now, but that's what his focus was.
You mean to tell me that there's a lot of chocolate pudding back there, young boy?
I'll give you so much pudding.
I'll have 2 scoops.
I feel like he's such a sociopath that he would have been like, is there any butterscotch?
Is that because sociopaths eat butterscotch?
Oh, everybody knows. There's only ever been 2 snack packs of butterscotch pudding sold ever, and one was to Jeffrey Dahmer. The second was to Charles Manson. Verified. Google it.
I'm going to Wikipedia that.
And tapioca, don't even make me go there. That's weird shit.
I kind of want to make you go there.
I don't have any more ability to invent pudding
I'm
history.
more of a butterscotch fan myself, young boy.
I love how he just refers to all boys as young boy.
I can't be bothered to learn your names.
So then we get to a psychotic use of Eleven's powers. They get cornered in this hallway. There's employees with machine guns on both sides, headed by the social work assassin. And 11, who's already tired, she didn't even get any of that recharged chocolate pudding, which, by the way, I was a little offended again at Dustin objectifying 11. Like, we need to charge the weapon. Where's the pudding?
Oh.
We know he's selfish and he just wants to eat. But he also is like, we need to recharge her. Like, he actually says that, you know. He doesn't say, like, she needs sustenance or I bet she's hungry or, you know, her blood sugar's low. Any hoozle.
Change the bats.
Right.
Is that what her powers are? It's just like a severe case of hypoglycemia? Like, her
the way I
body's just
picture it.
burning through her sugar. And
She has
she's
super diabetes.
Give her peanut butter quick. So I just put what the fuck down because she goes from, we know she can break bones. She can levitate vans. So that's huge. But she goes straight to just melting the brains of 7 adults. And that look on her face, I love it.
Her badass, like, I ain't no one to fuck with.
Yeah,
face.
like, well, she can be super tired, even in a prone position. And then when she decides to go power mode, it's just like, meow.
I love the sound effect, too, because there's a...
You mean that meow?
Not that one, but everyone's bleeding out of their eyes, the social work assassin, you know, and then all of a sudden there's this, like, noise to signify that their brains are squished or something, and they all fall down.
I love that look on the lady's face. And before I noticed that the blood was coming slowly out of her eyelids, I just thought, why does the social work assassin look so terrified and confused? You know, like, I thought there was like a frozen moment. I don't know. Even though I'd seen it before, I'd forgotten that scene. And it reminded me of Neo from The Matrix at the very end of the first film when he finally becomes the one in his mind and he stops the bullets midstream. Spoiler alert, 1999. Just that look on his face and you're just like, holy shit, the full scope of his powers become known. And you're just like, whoa, shit.
Oh my God, there is no spoon.
Yeah, that's what I felt like with 11. There is no pudding. There really weren't any spoons for that pudding, though, by the way.
Did you guys think, because Brenner shows up right after that, right?
Yeah, so she drops all the bodies and then to no avail because she passes out completely and they're trying to wake her up. And then Brenner brings more flunkies.
Because the flunkies grab the kids and Lucas has... What does Lucas say?
It's so funny. So Mike's like, leave her alone. And then Dustin's like, yeah, don't touch her. And then Lucas is like, eat shit, motherfucker.
I think he literally does say eat shit.
He does. I added the rest. And we all knew.
And then they immediately all get grabbed from behind, like, eat shit. There's like their big standing up to the adults moment, and they're just like, pick them up, hold them.
Yeah, these kids have
The threat has been neutralized.
They have no chance against these government operatives.
I don't know where that came from, though. It's like Lucas. It's a wonderful moment because he's been so against 11 the whole time, and he was the most outspoken for her in that moment. Mm-hmm. But I just don't know. He's been pretty temperamental, but he just became Apollo Creed out of nowhere.
He seems like he clearly loves Nam. He's clearly into that, so maybe he's like, the government's onto something. Fuck you.
That's true. He's very anti-government.
I know y'all killed Kennedy. All these conspiracies come flying out of Lucas's mouth. The moon's hollow.
It's crazy as hell.
But so Brenner sits down and he's like, 11, I'm going to take you back home. It's
hey,
Papa.
Papa? Is that you, Papa? Oh, it's Papa.
It's Papa. Yes. We're gonna make you better. And
she's
then
not buying it either.
She calls him bad. She just says bad.
And that look on his face.
I saw a look. I don't know if it's a look of defeat or if he was genuinely hurt by that, almost on a but I'm your Papa.
Yeah.
Which was very neat to see because up to this point, like we mentioned, he's such a sociopathic guy who has no care for anyone else's life other than his own. But in that moment, it kind of seemed like he was almost hurt that this other person that he, I guess, in some weird twisted way, he sees as his daughter.
Well, I think that he's too far gone, like sociopathically, to possibly look at her as a daughter. I think he's like, oh no, she's been corrupted. She's not going to do what I say anymore.
She's not going to spy on the commies for me.
Yeah. It's an interesting reading, but I think it's similar to, because I had the same feeling, remember when Shepard he's like, really, man? You know, he seemed to genuinely care about his employee. And then you guys pointed out, no, he wants the evidence. He wants the knowledge, the inside. That's what he's lamenting. And I think that's the same thing like Andy was saying with 11. He's just lamenting this powerful weapon and research tool that he will no longer be able to manipulate. That's his fuck.
Although I thought it was an interesting choice of words when he first rounds the corner, which is hysterical that like all of his flunkies get viciously murdered in the hallway. He's just standing around the corner like, okay, wait, she's totally gonna pass out after she kills that first round.
Yeah.
Then she steps so when he steps back around, the kids are all, huddled around 11. He says, step away from the child. And I thought child was a really interesting choice of words for this character. That's a very paternal kind of word. He doesn't say step away from
the weapon.
The weapon, that would be a super 80s thing. So step away from the weapon. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of words he could have used, but child seemed like a
overly sentimental.
Sentimental one, yeah.
That's interesting. So then we cut to the discovery of Will after some wandering by Joyce and Hopper. And they seem to have gone through almost all of Hawkins. Like they were just down the street. I think I saw the post office at one point, the little town square where Jonathan argued with his mom.
What is that building supposed to be that they walk into?
The library.
Is that the library? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And you see Hopper was all nervous. Like, is the upside down librarian going to be in here?
The librarian. Oh, Hopper. Oh, good. Maybe you should be looking for that missing kid that's secretly been in our...
So they find 7 foot of, I don't know, some kind of creature, 7 feet of some kind of creature inside Will's throat. It looks like a tube, like Matrix style, that they're rescuing him from, like he's been turned into a battery. Mm-hmm. But the thing is alive.
Yeah, Hopper throws on the floor and then starts writhing. And he's like,
didn't
Jesus
they walk
Christ.
by like a shattered egg at one point? Mm-hmm. Was I cray? I saw that.
Yeah,
I was not cray.
Was an egg.
So they pull it out and we get another diegetic flashback of this wonderful Hopper is trying to perform CPR on Will and instruct Joyce on how to help him, cutting back and forth between him staring helplessly at his daughter having CPR performed on her in the hospital unsuccessfully. And I'm just like, it's destroying me. I'm pouring tears. I'm slinging snot trying to eat these Sour Patch Andy gave me. And it's just awful to watch. And the performance by David Harbour of how desperately he wants to save Will so he can finish grieving over Sarah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Almost comically, at one point, and here's why, I'm not a savage. There's a point where Harbour becomes angry in his desperation, and it's his punch is so famous now that in the Stranger Things mobile video game, he's got like a super punch with like a giant sized fist, and he just punches the enemies that way. So like that's his ability. So it's the hop punch, right? Because he just punches everybody. So he's hammering the hop fist on Will's little chest, like, God damn it, boy, I need closure. You know, I don't know. You need to live, and it works. Coughs up a couple loogies, and they put the ventilator on the boy.
Broke about 8 ribs, his sternum, both collarbones.
I think you can break ribs if you're doing CPR correctly, right?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
So,
but hop punching,
that's why he was in the hospital. Otherwise, he would have been some chocolate pudding and go home.
Yeah.
Will's just like, oh.
I have trouble breathing now.
Tiny Tim.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Did kind of. I'm going to put that as an ego. Tiny Will. Okay. Cut back to the best editing of all time, and a little bit of writing, I guess, with the wrist rocket. So the Demogorgon. We forgot to talk about how Brenner fucking dies.
He just gets piled on by the Demogorgon.
Demogorgon immediately, like spears him, like gives him the stone cold. Who does the spear?
Goldberg,
different organization. Still, Goldberg's him. Goes down, and I think it was kind of beautifully. With no fanfare. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was just, oh shit, Brenner's dead, I guess?
Yeah, we don't even see the Demogorgon tear through his lackeys. He almost kind of brushes past the lackeys. He's like, yeah, whatever, you don't pose a threat to me. Brenner!
Yeah. So.
And Brenner kind of like almost steps towards it. He's like, what?
Well, I just had a fucking monster of an epiphany.
This is another justice for Barbie.
Probably. It is his own morbid curiosity for the arcane that is his undoing, because he steps towards it in fascination.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I dig that.
Unable to flee.
Like the necromancer guy in Game of Thrones, when he sees the arm, he's like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very random mental association, but totally valid. From season 8, episode 6 of Game of Thrones, this obscure one-off character. No, it wasn't a one-off. That's Qyburn, but still. Okay. So Brenner's dead. The gang flees with 11, and they take her to a classroom and put her on a table. And he's like, oh, you're going to be cool. I want to give you so many egos. And he's telling her that whole speech again. I'm worried he's about to kiss her again when the Demogorgon blows through the door. So they pull out the wrist rocket, and they're all shouting for it frantically, and he's getting out of his backpack, and they have all these perfectly shaped little rocks sitting on the desk there. But it's believable because they've been rock hunting for a long time.
Yeah.
We know how they love the rocks. I think that's what Andy laughing about. Anywho, then he starts firing these rocks at the Demogorgon, and he finally, and even though I'd seen it before, it got me again. I'm like,
when it fakes you out?
I'm like, no, you have to wait for the maul to open, right? And then he shoots it right down his throat, and it flies back 15 feet and slams into the chalkboard. And I've seen it before, but I was still like, holy fuck.
Good shot.
That was a hell of a shot there, Lucas.
Way to go, man.
And even Lucas is like, fuck yeah. Damn right.
I'm going to the snowball this year. Hell yeah.
And then 11, of course, pushes past him with that baller-ass look on her face. Yeah. Step aside, boys. And even Mike's like somehow aware that this is some sort of confrontation that she's probably not going to come back from. And he tries to stop her, even though they're all going to die if she doesn't do this. And she fucking uses her powers to shoot Mike back a few feet. Like, nah, bitch. I gotta do what I gotta do. 11's gotta do what 11's gotta do.
Yep.
Indeed.
She's got those bloody eyes and stuff. It's so fucking
dope. Like where you can tell she's using the full extent of her powers. I don't know. What goes on here?
Dude, it is an epileptic nightmare.
I love it.
If you are prone to seizures, you can't watch this finale. Yeah, it's insane.
There's a lot of blinking lights, or speaking lights, I should say.
I do love the way that they shot that scene, especially the close-ups of 11, where she's kind of...
She turns back?
Well, no, like when she's scowling at the monster, and she's like, no more, and the lights are just going apeshit behind her.
No more.
No more. And... I like that. That gets me, and I want to know how they did that scene, because I don't feel like they're using practical lights, like turning them off and on. I don't know. It just seems very. It doesn't feel worldly. Like, it doesn't seem like a real effect that the way the lights are going off and on.
It'd be pretty simple to do it digitally, though.
It would, but I want to know if they did do it digitally or if it really was some dude with a light switch just going like flipping up and down.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Yeah.
I was paying attention to the lighting for this because I wondered the same thing, whether or not that it was like practically done. I noticed that there's no fill light that's happening. Like, so like when the light goes dark, like it's actually, you really can't see what's going on, but it's happening so frequently that your eyes don't adjust that quickly. The light that's reflecting on the kid's hair goes away and comes back on and off. So that makes it seem like it's actually happening as opposed to being done digitally, because like that's something that's really, really hard to recreate.
That's so cool. Because that shot is I think that might be my favorite shot in the whole series, just because the lights add so much to it. Because, like you said, it's happening so fast, your eyes can't really adjust to it, so it's messing with you. But it looks so awesome, and it's so appropriate for 11's story.
Did you notice that there were a couple of times where it seemed like they slow-mo'd a shot just a hair, and like they didn't shoot at a higher frame rate, so you could tell when they did it? And there were just a couple weird shots, and there was a few of them with the Demogorgon, and I'm like, why did you do that? Because it's like you rate stretched it by like 4 seconds for They did
that a couple times this episode. They did that there, and then they did it. The one that really sticks out to me is when Nancy's shooting at the Demogorgon. There's a shot where it's like they hit Control R on the time bar and, and extended the clip a little bit, so because you drop frames.
Yeah, I don't know what purpose there was for that.
I don't either. It looked weird, but it still looked awesome in the end scene.
Oh yeah.
My favorite shot was when she looks back and you can see just the torso of the Demogorgon, and the lighting is still there, and the composition was incredible. But obviously there's all that. I mean, I love her little face. You know what I mean? She's always saying so much, and it's like just a glance, and yet I'm like hearing her little voice, like, friends don't lie. No, she's like, egos were great. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for showing me what life could really be like. Hopefully I'm going to be back, but I'm not sure if they're going to get greenlit for a season 2. Peace, like all of that.
Oh God, if they didn't get greenlit for season 2 after that ending, I would have been so upset.
I would have thought it. I remember
the ending.
Andy and I talking like, I hope it's done. This is incredible.
I don't know that like.
It would have been ballsy though.
It would have been fun. Like it would have. You're right. It would have been ballsy, but good if that's how 11 went out. But I would be more upset at the fact of like, what the fuck is the deal with Hopper? What's Hopper doing? Yeah. That's the thing that would make me upset.
David Lynch in a good way, like the 10% of David Lynch that's actually good. It's what it would have been like. So,
what do you think? Because doesn't she turn around and say, "Bye, Mike"?
Yeah.
Do you think Lucas and Dustin are like, yeah, fuck you, that too?
That's true.
Lucas is like, I knew I didn't like you for a reason.
Dustin's like, I get why you wouldn't say bye to Lucas. Hang on. However, we're bros.
I was in that group hug, yo.
I mean, I kind of draped myself over, but you guys,
was there.
You guys didn't say go. Like, whatevs.
Remember that part where I said, yeah, you better run. She's our friend. And she's crazy.
Keyword there. Our. Friends don't lie.
You didn't even try the pudding. So what happens there? I don't understand why she couldn't just snap Dim a neck or something. You know what I mean? Break some Dim balls.
Break Dim balls.
She's got to like completely.
Does Demogorgon have a neck?
She got to completely Okay, it doesn't have a skeletal structure. Whatever, Steve. But she's able to hold it, which is taking a lot of her strength, but she disassembles it atom by atom, it looks like, and herself, which, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And we will find out if it makes sense in season 2, I guess. That's one of my unanswered questions. It's like, where is 11? Is she in the Upside Down? Did she like take it? Was that the only way she could send it there? But if that's all she did,
is it still
it's
in
just
there
gonna
with
come
her?
back? Right. So she had to have killed it. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I feel like maybe she tapped so far into her powers that like it took her into that other dimension. You know what I mean? Because has 11 ever actually been in the Upside Down up to this point?
No, she's in the Inside Out.
In between.
Right.
Which we call it the Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Very intelligently.
The space between spaces.
It kind of reminds me of that Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them when Ezra Miller's character, as the Obscurial, gets killed. A little nerding out here for a second, but he's still alive. I know because he's on the cast list for the second one. So I just think just completely disappears, but he's still alive because he's so powerful.
Which person's that?
He's the Ezra Miller. He's the Obscurial, the main like crazy
Oh,
thing.
he's the kid.
He's like the older,
weird
orphan
the older
kid.
boy.
with the bangs.
Yeah. And he's like, I thought you loved me.
Oh, Colin Farrell, no.
Oh, wait, you're actually... Oh, no, I'm not going to spoil that. That movie's fairly recent. I won't spoil that
That's
one.
true. That's true. But that primal scream from 11 when she's like ramping it up and everybody's like, no, and you don't know what's going to happen. The Demogorgon's like fighting her, reaching out at her, and then she pushes the arm back again. And she gives it some extra gas. Ah, you know, like way cooler than that, but I don't want to break the mic. Ah.
Did you notice that when it's like ripping apart, it's almost like white in the middle?
Yes.
Like, do you think it's an being of energy, or is
I don't know.
or is that more like 11's energy destroying it?
I'm actually a good guy underneath.
It's Steve. Hey guys. What happened? Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Cut to the aftermath at the school where everybody's apparently just been notified that I don't know what happened. Hey, Karen? Yeah, we got Mike here at school. He's safe. Okay, let's go. What's going on? I'm not really sure. There's a bunch of holes, a lot of chocolate pudding, a shitload of blood. So I'm going to need you to get down here. So I don't know what they told her.
We're charging him for killing these government officers.
Right.
He was complicit.
There's about 11 dead people here.
It's chaos. So she shows up frantic, and that actually got to me too. Never had any emotional connection with Karen throughout. I know that you guys did, but there I was feeling it for sure. And Mike, he's just weeping when his fucking mommy holds him, and he's crying for 11. And I get that. And then fucking Ted.
Fucking Ted.
Damn it, Ted.
I was so infuriated. He can't even hug his son. He
Is the boy all right?
he just goes to the paramedic like, so the Packers game yesterday, am I right?
Let's cut to the chase. How much is this going to cost me?
Does he have to ride in the ambulance?
How's Ike doing? Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. Common mistake.
I thought you meant the president in the 50s.
You like Ike, right? I like Ike.
Were you a fan? He just, I mean...
Is Mancy here?
Do you think that... Do you think they were trying to say something about absent fathers and how they used to be and unable to show femininity?
I think they're
or-
definitely showing that was the thing. Because I remember seeing dads like that, where if something happened to their child, they would come, and they wouldn't be the ones that would come and wrap their arms around him like, I'm so glad you're okay. But they would be the ones like they would go to the doctor and say, okay, what are we dealing with? Is he okay? Is there something wrong with him? Tell me the logistics. What do I have to do for my family? But if this was any other character in any other movie universe, we probably wouldn't be criticizing this
We
as
wouldn't
much.
have noticed,
But it's
yeah.
fucking Ted. In this whole series, he's been like just a paragon of like absentee dads. So I think we're judging this more because we have that context. But yeah, that definitely was a thing that I remember dads doing back in the day, was being very logical.
It's just sad to see in today's zeitgeist, maybe, I guess.
Yes,
looking
yes,
from today's
absolutely.
lens. But anyway.
Because if that was my kid, I'd be like, oh my God, come here.
Yeah, like,
Let me
"Get away,
look at
bitch. You never talk to him anyway. You just tell her to swallow pancakes. That's all you do."
Where's Holly?
Who's watching Holly? That's the whole next season. Holly!
Baby Holly's at a bar.
But there's nothing supernatural. She's just missing.
I hate my parents.
It becomes a Home Alone reference.
Sometimes I'm trying to find the answer of who am I at the bottom of this bottle.
Just Holly's killing Hollies. Keep stealing Steve's jokes. Has zero effect.
It's okay, I'm stealing Rick and Morty jokes.
So then we cut back to the hospital, and I took note that every single character in the show was waiting in the waiting room, many of whom had no affiliation with Will. Like, why the fuck is Ted there?
Why is Steve there?
Yeah, Steve. Steve's like, so Nancy, we never saw all the right moves, and I was just weird time. I know, weird time.
So just feeling it out.
Just saying, there's a matinee going on. Yeah,
Flo's just sitting there drinking coffee.
Hopper's is chain smoking, offering Ted Xanax, and he's like,
Bobby H and Carol are also there just for fun.
Tommy H.
Tommy H.
No,
That's
she's
it.
got
Bobby.
a new Bob H now.
But that's a cool shot because like you get to see it's got the sweet pan. You get to see like everybody's like victorious, like okay, and now the sun rises kind of moment.
It
Like,
is, yeah.
And they pan around. The kids are sleeping on top of each other and stuff, and that's hysterical because like a little character moment. And yeah, and
it's a good way of letting the audience know that Jaybird, Nancy, and Steve are okay, because the last time we saw them was at the house.
Yeah,
so
they
now
kind
this
of
is-
just dropped that thread.
Yeah, and it's nice to see all the characters that you know and love together. Like, yeah, they did it. They did the
Right.
thing.
That thing they were trying to do,
They did it.
And they're all like resting, you know. They seem like very tired.
Some
but
of them are snoring.
Some of them. Rude bastards.
Ted is asleep. He's sitting there next to Hop, which that's just not fair to compare the two. Like you put them in the frame
Yeah.
together. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, come on.
There's a man and just not even the mud on his boot.
You got grieving father of the year, and then Ted.
So then we get a reunion finally of Joyce, Will, and Jonathan, which I love that they did that first before the friends, because really, I mean, brother and mother before even really close friends. They just did that perfectly, I felt like. Not much to say there. I mean, pretty.
There's an awesome moment for Will, because
When
he
he
wakes
looks up
up
for
and
Jonathan first?
He immediately asks if Jonathan's okay because his hand's cut.
I see. I didn't like that. I felt like that was too. That was like saving the cat at the end of the movie as opposed to the beginning. We already endeared ourselves to this character. You know what I mean? And then he wakes up like, "Oh, is your hand okay?" And it's like, you know, he's worried if my hand's. Oh, he's such a good guy. He's such a good guy. And it's like, it just was overkill for me.
I get what you're saying. It was actually some of the poorest acting that I have seen from what's his name? One of my favorite actors. No, but Charlie Heaton.
Jaybird?
Yeah, Charlie Heaton. He come that with that line. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's my little brubbies. You know, it wasn't older brothery at all. And I know Jonathan's really sensitive, but to me, it'd have been like, wake up, cocksucker.
I made you a new mixtape.
I think I'm gonna bang your friend's sister. That's what happened.
Oh, I was moved by Jaybird in that scene.
Really?
I was a little teary eyed.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that goes to show.
I mean,
what
I
a
will
sissy you are.
I will say that. Well, I mean,
strokes.
it's true. I'm a big old puss, but I will say that line of like, oh shucks, you're such a great guy. I do think that is like not a great line.
Yeah.
But I think that
Still got you.
I think that fault lies more in the line itself than maybe the actor
No,
delivering.
I don't think he could have done much more with it.
Yeah.
It made it was a chip in Charlie Heaton's armor for the rest of the show. I felt like, and we get a weird look from Nancy. So I'm getting out of order here. So then the kids come in. We get this hilarious reunion where Dustin immediately makes true to his word that the first thing he tells Will is how Jessica Hayes was crying at his funeral, which really tickled me to no end. And they start rattling off all the crazy shit that's been going on. And Will buys it all immediately because he's been in the fucking upside down. Like, okay, well, guess what I've been through? You know, had about 7 foot of alien dick in my throat for like 2 days. So
that was the only thing I ate the whole time too.
yeah, there's that. And then, so Nancy's in the back and she seems happy and she's smiling. She's right over Jonathan's shoulder. And then something happens in her head that saddens her. She looks away and leaves. I don't know. I want to know. We were running really late on time, but I kind of want to know what you guys thought about what she was thinking, what was going on with her there. And I think it was, for me, like, I'm going to fuck Steve. I mean,
Really? Was that your reading?
Essentially, I mean, because she
Oh.
gets sad, feels left out or out of place, realizes that it's over. So what connected Jonathan and I is gone, and I'm
had a
outie.
Completely different reading.
What did you read?
That she was out to try to save Barb.
Yeah.
And like, so they're having their happy reunion, having saved Will. And she's like, this is a bittersweet moment for her because she's like, my friend's still dead. And so, yeah, she's like,
Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Probably the correct reading.
That would have been an interesting, like, oh man, this is great. I'm gonna fuck Steve now.
I was being a little facetious, but yeah, I thought it was like a romantic sadness, but you're right.
But you're saying that she was sad that that connection
want-
with Jonathan is no more because that's all they had.
If
in
I'm
common.
being more honest, yeah, there's a complex emotion of like, Steve really kicked ass out there and he redeemed himself, but I really do care for Jonathan and I don't know what to do now. Just a whole bunch of bittersweetness for her, which Barb is included in.
I'm
but
sure that's part of it.
I thought the whole hashtag Justice for Barb thing was because her death was never addressed or grieved within the confines of the show. And you're saying that there was a subtle moment where it was.
Yeah, I think Justice for Barb's supposed to be more ironic than anything. Nobody actually cares about Barb, but
No, they did though. It was like riots. They nominated her for an Emmy, and
If you go
redeem it.
to the Halloween shops, they have Barb costumes.
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't have costumes for the boys.
No
they don't
Nancy.
have they don't have costumes for Nancy. They have one for Joyce.
That's a weird one.
what, a leather jacket?
Well, she wears
Pack of cigarettes.
it's a sweater and pants, and then she's got Christmas lights strung around her. That's the
terrible.
costume.
When does that happen?
I don't
That's
know,
awful.
but that's the costume that you can get of Joyce.
So then we cut to Hopper walking outside, and we get this Lynchian car pulling up, and he's smoking a cigarette like it's all done here. And then balding guy that does the tour of Hawkins' lab gets out and at least opens the door for him. And Hopper's like, oh yeah, this is what we agreed. Throws a cigarette, gets in it, but is then okay later. So what the fuck was the car ride? Any predictions?
He had to help Brenner move. That was part of the agreement.
Even though he's dead.
Well,
we got to pack his stuff up.
We don't know for sure that he's dead. I'm just saying, he just got Goldberged onto the school floor. Demogorgon could have just been like, oh, fuck.
Oh, is that a claim that people are making that Modine's alive?
No, not that
I know
I've
that
heard.
was one last year. I don't know. That rumors died down quite a bit with the upcoming season coming out. But for a while there, people were assuming that Brenner could have made it out.
Wow.
I would assume that Brenner has higher ups and that whatever deal that Hopper made, applies to them.
Yeah.
In absenteeism.
That's true, but he did sort of die off screen, which I thought was sort of a justice of lack of fanfare, but it could also be a plot room.
Yeah, it's more than anything. It's just one of those things like stick around for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Find out the adventures of Hopper and the government.
And then we get the
What sort of things will they get into? Will they fight commies?
I don't know what that was, but it felt like it.
That was a ball going up in the sky.
So then we get the second Dungeons and Dragons game of the series where the boys are all united. And Andy and I had a very lengthy conversation about this D&D game in the finale. Do you remember that? When the first time the season aired?
I do not remember that.
So the Dungeons and Dragons game part 2 is meta.
Yes.
They're referring to the show itself.
Oh, I do remember that. Okay,
You
yeah,
and I
yeah,
were
yeah.
like off the hook. Like, dude, that's so great. They're talking about how the show was so short. So all the kids are upset that the campaign is over. And
He's like, that was it? And they're like, it was 10 hours.
right. Yeah.
It's pretty, but what, and I wrote it down. He says,
There's a couple, yeah.
but what about the lost knight and the proud princess and it's
the
like
weird
straight up-
flowers.
and the weird flowers in the cave? It's like straight up like, what about Hopper? What about 11? Like, yeah, it's brilliant.
What about the
like,
weird floaty shit in the upside down?
Yeah,
Is that the flowers in the cave is the upside down?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah. So it was very super cool.
The flowers in the cave could be the Demogorgon because when it opens all of its mouth,
It does very
kind
much
of looks
look
like a flower.
Very, yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
that's a bit of a stretch, but
So he's the proud knight. She's the lost princess. Mm-hmm. That's great.
other way around. Lost knight.
He's the
proud
lost princess. And so then Jonathan picks Will up now. I took note of that. He doesn't let Will walk home from Mike's house anymore or ride his bike
Rightfully
home.
so.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be so irresponsible. Honey, where's Will? It's time for dinner. I don't know. Are you fucking serious? Well, you're the fucking mom, so yeah.
And that pops up. Chapter 2.
the second disappearance of Will Byers.
And then Mike looks mournfully at Eleven's little fort. It would have been too much, but I would have loved like a little one bite out of an Eggo in there.
They did have the radio.
That's why my films are shit, because I just want to overdo shit. I'm like, put a little Eggo in there, take a bite. Andy's like, no, I think they get it. No, I don't think they do.
Let's just put a box of Eggos.
Can we get a tear from Mike? Like, no, he's looking longingly. I think we need a tear. I mean, anyway.
Was there
That's
a radio?
Very well done.
Yeah, they had the radio propped up on a pillow in front of the fort.
Nice.
So it looks like
Oh,
they've got
wow.
the radio there just in case she ever tries to contact them.
Oh, that's epic. That's totally awesome. That's totally what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're like playing D&D, getting really into it, and all of a sudden, friends don't lie. They don't. That's an 11 thing. 11 says that. That's her. What was the
one of her 6
monster's
lines.
name?
The Thessal Hydra.
Do you think that'll be the name of the monster?
I
in
wondered
season
that
two?
too when I saw this. Like, oh, that'd be a pretty cool name.
Save that for our season 2 predictions. Then we cut to the upstairs when Jonathan is taking Will away. We see Nancy like, hold on, John. Hey, Jaybird. She's very friendly with him now. Hey, homie. Hold up, homie.
Little
and
homie.
I got you a present. And he's like, very awkwardly, immediately, like, he could easily have said thank you, went and straight to Walmart, you know? Like, just any kind of slickness would have been great.
You're gonna love what I got you.
Or even just thank you. You know?
Yeah.
To be clear, before you give this to me, I didn't get you anything, and I'm not going to. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm poor.
oh, that's what it is.
Did you get the impression that they've really spoken all that much in this intervening month?
No.
Yeah, like it's like that friendship just sort of went
That's
away.
right. It said 1 month later. And yeah, they haven't hung out a whole lot. We know why in a moment. So he finds out Will's a little fucker, and he's like, can I open it? You know, good thing it's not anything salacious, you know?
It's a bag of dildos.
Big old bag of
What would you want this, Jaybird?
That's how they come. Yeah, Jaybird. That's what his little brother calls him too. So we cut back to the living room. First time around, huge reveal. Steve. She's with Steve.
What? Yeah.
What? I actually wrote
After
that down.
even after he decided to put on that sweater, she's still with him.
No.
is a bad
But he's
sweater.
such a good guy. He's not even jealous. He's like, did you give him the present that I probably paid for? Because I got a
good.
BMW?
Yeah.
Because I broke it. But I'm going to let you take the credit for it because I'm a good fucking dude.
He's a good dude.
Did you kiss him on the cheek like I told you to?
Right.
You know, it's been a month. I don't think his face would be that healed.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because he looked rough.
He was wrecked. And I think that's the character moment that you were kind of alluding to earlier when Nancy steps out of the hospital room and she's like, I'm going to go fuck Steve. This was the actual I'm going to go fuck Steve.
That's what I meant because she clearly did.
Right.
But I guess I just forgot about Barb. Everybody acting like they forgot about Barb.
But I love the hesitancy with that because the I think the Duffer Brothers know that they are not living up to your expectations for where these characters were going to end up. And so when she's like kisses him and then she does her little chin tuck, shyly looking up thing, like that is very much like I think a wink to the audience. Like, hey, didn't think it was going to go like this, did you guys?
There's more to this relationship than meets the eye.
I thought that was so complex of a narrative. Obviously, Steve was much deeper than we thought he was, and to not end up with Jonathan in a show that's based on following tropes and respecting genre and homage, and then all of a sudden you've got this deep subversion of everything and being something totally new and unique. It's just spot on, as heartbreaking as it was. Very bittersweet.
Before we move on, it has to be said.
Okay.
Ted was asleep in a lazy boy with popcorn. I'm just saying, it's Christmas. Everyone's celebrating, and
I know.
Ted's eating. He fell asleep eating his own popcorn.
Baby Holly slipped him something.
The man made the conscious decision to go popcorn, put it in a bowl, sat in his lazy boy, and didn't even eat half of it.
No, nothing.
And it's fucking Ted. Fucking Ted.
I hate Ted more than I hate the Demogorgon. More than I hate the Dr. Brenner. More than I hate the social work assassin, and she killed Benny.
Justice for Benny.
So
I'm a monster, Mike. No, that's my dad, Ted.
we cut to David Harbour, who Hopper is the character that he plays. I just love him. At the Christmas party at the police station, and he hasn't changed a whole lot. He's clearly a little drunk, smoking inside, just eating the snacks. I'm just here to get the food and fuck your wife, unnamed cop guy. Flo's like, oh, Hop, don't smoke in here.
Hop, you have a family here if you want. Shut the fuck up, Flo.
So then we see him, he goes outside with all the food that he was raiding. I think I missed this a little bit too. he's got a box in the woods that I can assume that he built. And he puts all the snacks from the party in it with a couple Eggos, just so we know it's for 11, which is a nice touch. I don't know where he got the fucking Eggos. I didn't see any Eggos at the party. Anywho.
That was the Duffer Brothers when the one Duffer Brothers like, I think we should put an Eggo in the tent. And they're like, no, that's too on the nose.
That's right.
They made a compromise and did it here.
True. I didn't even think of that when I was making that joke earlier. Now it seems like I was making fun of him the whole time. So what is this? Is it a tribute to 11? Does he think she's alive? Does he know she's alive?
I think so. Because I think that's what happened.
Because
when
he went in the car.
That's right, dude. He went to the car and he's like, this goes so much further than you ever imagined.
Is this so not new information that I'm embarrassing myself?
Probably.
I like how I figure shit out on my own, and it's still smart, even though it's been done along.
No, that is the correct thread, I think.
For sure.
It's not confirmed. That's not 100% confirmed that that's the thread.
That's
but
what I'm getting.
That is a good. You came to the conclusion,
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I wake up one day and I'm like, I'm gonna call it gravity every time I throw this apple, and it goes at the same rate as a feather. And I go outside and I tell somebody, he's like, no shit, retard.
And it stars Sandra Bullock. Sorry. I thought that's where you were going. But you went with real gravity. Not 2013 films.
No. So then, cut to Will, poor Will. He's still got some Demogorgon sperm in him, which he hacks up into the sink. And is that not what you guys read it as? It's definitely a Demogorgon baby.
It's like, yeah, it's a worm. It's the same. It's a smaller version of the worm that crawled out of dead Barb's mouth.
Yeah, it's dead on. Visually.
Or Demisperm.
So that's like what the Demogorgon sperm actually looks like?
I think so. He's the egg.
So did he give birth to the baby, or did he...
By the way, with the egg that was hatched in the Upside Down that we saw earlier, we can assume that there are at least millions more. Okay, that was a jump.
Or at least one more.
Okay.
I don't understand the biology of this.
I don't either.
Because
does he eat them, or does he make them fillet him? Or
what?
I don't know.
There's something going on to where he clearly hasn't eaten Barb.
Or do they eat him? Sorry.
He didn't eat Barb, or at least he didn't eat all of Barb. That came out wrong. We did see a skull, right? There was a skull, like a human skull. So he's eating somebody. Still not sounding right. But
justice for Barb. She's like, oh, I'm getting justice. It's just us here.
That's what she's all about. Justice. But so it's established that there's a worm coming out of Barb. Is the Demogorgon making the worm? Is that just... God damn it. There's no way to talk about this without it all sounding like dicks.
Sorry. We don't know, Steve. These are all unanswered questions.
Are they the Demogorgon's babies? Are they just things that live in the Upside Down?
I think they're Demo babies.
I think that it's the same kind of infection shit that's been happening everywhere, that the pathways to the Upside Down have been manifesting themselves. So because they spent so much time in the Upside Down, I think that infection is pervading their bodies.
So that's the toxic air that they talked about, possibly?
I think so, yeah. Or, like in the basement of Hawkins' lab, it's all infectious looking and there's stuff everywhere. And so I think that's just some more of the stuff that's in Will.
The what?
The stuff.
No, I disagree. I think it's definitely sentient creatures that placed in there. Just my theory.
Placed in, I mean, that would make more sense because of the
7 foot of thing in there. Whilst keep him relatively alive,
Yeah.
I feel like it's eat one, fuck one. That's his rule. Well, he tried to impregnate at least 2 of them, and he stole 6 people.
How is he impregnated? So he's gooed
We don't wanna
Will
get-
onto the wall.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
gooed him onto the wall.
That's how you do it.
And then he's just placed a 7-foot-long worm just in his mouth, but part of it's like not in Will. Where's the rest of it going?
It's attached to
Did he
his balls.
shit that thing out and just like, here, stick this in your mouth, kid? It's how I make babies.
I imagine, here's how I picture it. Full-on face latching, like...
a face hugger?
It. You ever seen the movie It recently?
Oh yeah, where he's like sucking that kid's
Or
face.
a face hugger from the 80s, sure. And just totally encompasses his face, and then just the worm comes out into his mouth, and then he detaches, and he's just sitting there all pale and clammy looking with the thing in his mouth. That's how I envision it.
These are questions I want answered. In
This is
season 2.
all, we'll do season 2 speculation, and we'll bring all this back. So we are episode record breaking right now, have not gotten into any new segments. That's the end of the finale recap. Chocolate puddings, real quick. Steve, what's your number 3? Oh, Andy, what is chocolate puddings?
Chocolate puddings are favorite moments from the episode. We all
Okay.
pick our top 3. Steve?
Which in this episode, we realize why we call it that. Yeah! I would say it's not fair to use the chocolate pudding moment as a chocolate pudding in our show.
Fair enough.
So obvious, right? Okay. Steve, you're number 3. Chocolate pudding.
My number 3 is the wrap-up game of D&D at the very end. I love and the meta game that we were just talking about. That's my number 3. It's fun. It's meta. Who doesn't love it?
Yeah, that's good stuff. My number 3 would have to be the intercutting of reviving Will and Hopper's daughter dying simultaneously, like because it's the culmination of his entire character arc that he's finally like he's reached the climax of this moment where he has the real opportunity to save this kid and successfully does so, and it's a very beautiful moment.
Wonderful. My number 3 is where 11 dispatches 7 to 10 soldiers in one little moment, just melting their brains.
One scowl.
Blink.
How can you not love 11 melting brains? Steve, you're number 2.
My number 2 is Jaybird, Nancy, and Steve versus the Demogorgon. I really love that scene. It's a great character building moment for Steve. It's just fun to see those 3 characters kind of interact together and on the same side and attacking a giant monster.
Right.
It's just and it's well filmed. It's just a great fun scene.
That is also my number 2. I called it like the best laid plans moment because like they come up with like this whole elaborate plot to take down the Demogorgon. Steve shows up like, "What's going on, guys? So you got a gun? Oh, that's pretty fucked up. Is it gasoline?" And like and everything just goes to shit. And you know it's one of those awesome things. It's like. Because you love the characters so much that like you don't care that like all the plans went out the window, all the meticulous shots where they're like, and this we're doing that, and then that's the plan, and yeah, it's just like, okay, cool, yeah, that's real life. Shit falls apart, and you love the people that are part of it anyway. What about you, buddy?
Gotta improvise.
Improvise.
That was a runner-up for me. I just want to say that very clearly. It was a very hard choice, but I'm going to go with my number 2 is 11's death, quote-unquote death. The primal scream specifically, and her looking back over her shoulder, pissing off all of the other boys.
Bye, Mike.
Bye, Mike.
My favorite.
And Black One.
Dustin?
Yes. Steve, what was your number 1 chocolate pudding?
That was my number 1.
Okay.
11 going out like a badass, saving the kids one last time. The lights going crazy. That's such a cool shot. And you know, you love 11. You love Millie Bobby Brown. She's like,
I do.
She's like 50% of the reason why I watch the show. And so her going out like a hero, and it's mysterious. You know, it only makes you want to watch more. I remember yelling when this episode ended because I just wanted to watch more. I wanted more of 11 and the gang. So yeah, that was a great way to cap her story this first season.
Absolutely. Andy, your number 1 chocolate pudding.
That is also my number 1. I love that the kids like in their final confrontation, being as powerless as they are, they're like, get out the wrist rocket. And they have like 6 rocks, and it's like, okay, the first one didn't work. Okay, we got 5 more. This one, do it again. And like, it's just, they're freaking out. And then
They're still brave.
They're super brave. Yeah, it's awesome.
And
like,
so not doing anything.
Oh yeah,
ever,
no,
never gonna. You know what I
they
mean?
are so dead if 11's not there.
So screwed.
But I love that about it because they're going down fighting, and then 11, stands up, does her little badass moment, and you can't not cry. And her makeup's amazing. She's got the bloody nose. Now her eyeballs are bleeding. This is the most power that she's ever exerted ever. And it's just beautifully shot. Really touching character moment that wraps everything up better than you could have hoped for.
Absolutely. My number one was the Hopper intercut CPR scene. For me, obviously all of the other badass shit was way up there for me. And if I was to rapid fire say favorite, it probably would have been one of those. But I just thought about it a little bit, and it just emotionally resonated with me on a level that just had no competition the rest of the season even. I mean, I was destroyed in my chair. Quick, I've said this before, I think, but I have watched my mother die in the hospital. I've been through a lot of stuff related to disease and stuff like that, and I cannot imagine having to deal with that with my child. And it it felt very true to me, which is hard to do, especially in a very popular show like that, Thanks a lot to David Harbour, I think, for that. So, Steve, we skipped the will call. That's a very important segment. What is that?
Will call is a little segment we like to do where we count the amount of times that people yell "Will" or "Where's Will?" This is due to someone complaining that the show was ruined for them because of so many people yelling that, and they found that annoying. So we wanted to see if that was a just thing to believe, that if
and
people
was
did.
It?
Not really, because we've actually gone through the last 4 episodes where not a lot of wills, not a lot of will calls, and this is the final episode where they found the kid and they yelled it 12 times.
12 calls of the will. Let's get a full season tally for the season wrap up. Let's do that one. How many will calls total? And our next segment we call Easter Eggos, which is where we hunt for Easter eggs within the show, and it's extremely clever to call it Eggos. Anyway, Andy thinks that's hilarious. He loves it.
There it is.
Easter Eggos. It's so funny. And where we can't find them, we just make them up. We stretch them. Run real late on time here, so we're just gonna rattle them off. Steve, your first Eggo.
My first Eggo is there's a lot of references to what I believe Alien in this
I believe
this episode.
there's at least 2.
They're the outfits that Hopper and Joyce are wearing with the lights reflecting in their mask. I think that's a complete Alien throwback that every film does now, or space film.
Every film.
They're not doing it.
Just Juno.
they're not doing that in Juno. And then also, obviously, the Demogorgon. We spoke at length about how there's a lot of phallic. Everything's dicks now. There's a lot of phallic imagery with how the Demogorgon's lair is, and that's definitely a xenomorph alien type thing.
For sure. And the fucking egg.
The egg is where my egg goes straight up from.
Sorry, Egg-O.
Egg-O. Straight up. Which alien is it that the cover is the egg with the crack and the green light coming out of it?
I believe that's Aliens.
Aliens. Alien 3, maybe?
Aliens.
I don't remember.
Yep.
Aliens.
Okay, so my next Eggo, we can split that Eggo if we're tallying.
Sure.
Keeping count. The book that Hopper is reading his daughter in the hospital scene is Anne of Green Gables. It is a story about an orphan girl who gets taken by this family when they were supposed to have been sent a boy, and it's all about like her trying to assimilate into this culture that didn't want her, and it kind of ties into 11's story. It's pretty good.
Rock on. Steve, another one from you. Rapid fire.
This is, I don't know how much of a Easter egg it is, but when Steve leaves, when he's like, oh shit, the Demogorgon, he's run into his car, he does the classic horror film trope where he drops his keys.
Yeah.
You can't hurriedly go to a car without dropping your keys on the ground. You just can't.
Nay. Andrew.
Well, we mentioned before the return of the Lando reference when Dustin realizes that their position has been betrayed yet again. But there's another Star Wars reference when the kids are telling Will all about the adventures that they missed. They say, she's like a wizard. No, she's more like Yoda. And it's like, sweet. She is like Yoda. Lie, friends do not.
I remember when Yoda would murder people with his mind all the time.
Every day.
My last one that I have was it's a low hanging ego. It's like Will is convinced that he's getting an Atari for Christmas.
Hey, we all wrote that shit down.
Yep.
That's my last one.
It was my last one too.
Okay, I got some low ones. I got Yo-Yo. Cross that off.
It was a smiley face yo-yo.
It was. It reminded me of The Watchmen, but it probably was not the intention there. Another It reference. We talked about that, defeating the foe with a slingshot wrist rocket. I believe is an It throwback for how it destroys. Well, they wound Pennywise with that. A mixtape. Just the fact that a mere mixtape exists when Jonathan makes Will a mixtape, I thought that was a great reference. High Fidelity, right? Top 5. I'm John Cusack. Top 5 Stranger Things. The high school scene was very John Hughesy to me, with the snowball
Yeah, I can see that.
in the high school.
Yeah.
Very 16 Candles Breakfast Clubby because they're trapped in the school, which is kind of like they're having detention.
If
and
only
they
they
find
were
the chocolate
sitting-
pudding.
If only they were sitting on top of a table with a birthday cake in between them. It would,
Oh.
16
No,
candles.
yeah. I was thinking the other thing. And then chocolate. Don't ask. I was the chocolate pudding is the biggest Easter egg I remember from this episode. It's very. It's the Goonies when Chunk
Oh, yeah.
gets into the fridge, and in that one he finds he's like, "I have ice cream," and then there's actually a dead body in there, so it's not that much of an interruption, but it was just a little throwback. It's framed exactly the same way, the little chubby kid and all that stuff.
Nice.
I have been told, or rather have read, that the ending is very much reminiscent of the first season of Twin Peaks, but I, as a person who hates David Lynch, I have no idea what that it would refer to. Probably the car that David Hopper gets into. I think I can see that that's Lynchian.
With the tilt up into the sky.
But I don't know. I didn't watch the show Twin Peaks. So that's
haven't either.
all I have for this week. I believe that wraps up Chapter 8, The Upside Down. Thank you so much for hanging in. We get really giddy. We're very happy to talk about this show that we love with people we love. Thank you for joining us and being patient. We know our shit, but we're just super goofy, and we really appreciate it. Send feedback. I was thinking of snack packs. Send feedback to streamingthingspod@gmail.com, and please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. We're going to do a season 1 recap shortly with a little bit of a season 2 preview, and we'll be ready at 3 in the morning where we're at, because we're on Eastern time in the US of A. So we'll be together at 3 in the morning when it drops, refreshing Netflix feeds frantically
For season 2.
Stranger Things, so that we can record season 2 of Streaming Things. My name is Chris.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this is it. We're done. No more dicks. I'm going to kill you. I don't know why it's Russian. I did that again. I'm going to kill you now and stuff you with the cotton.
Hello, it is me.
Hello, little boy. What is pudding?
Have you found 11? I look for her. Who? 11.
11.
Do I not speak clearly? 11? 11. Yes.
I laugh like that. Edit 4704-ish.
This whole thing's an edit. I'm going to write that down as blooper.
But if you guys miss any that I made up, I'll just come in it. So,
Whoa.
oh my God.
Why is everything dicks today? We get to the end of the series and all of a sudden everything's dicks.
Just dicks killing dicks. Oh my God. I'm just coming it.
$142.
Okay.
I'm running out of
He's running
room.
out of paper. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Steve, your ego.
It's very frail. It's fragile.